Hello, Ronnie.
Vince is away talking to the business leaders. What do you think is the bottom line on this then, Jonathan?
He's talking to the Liberal Democrat supporters, and he's talking to the masses. He's not talking to business, and he's not talking to Parliament. What is reported is he'll be saying is that he's going to be looking at how businesses are bought and sold. He's going to be looking at top people's pay. I just can't see he's going to be doing anything than blowing hot air. He's not going to regulate top people's pay, and he's not going to change how people buy and sell companies, shares in companies.
Yeah, is there any legislation that you know of, Jonathan? Because that's what I was interested in as well, is what he can tell companies about wages. I mean, if I work for you and I've been performing really well, it's up to you what you pay me, isn't it?
Well, of course, I couldn't afford you, Ronnie.
No, it's true.
But there is, of course, a minimum wage that we have now. I think everyone knows about that. We don't have a maximum wage, hence bankers still earn millions and millions of pounds a year, and indeed do the top executive of the top 100 companies, in other words, in the FTSE 100. No, there's no regulation on pay, and there won't be a regulation on pay. I mean, the inevitable conclusion of that, ultimately, is that we go down the communist route and we set standards, as it were, for everything. Well, it isn't going to happen. It's particularly not going to happen because for something like that to happen, it would mean that the UK would be doing something different to what every other country is doing. You know, we've just had at the weekend the chancellors of the top 20, the finance ministers of the G20, and the central bank governors getting together at the G20 in South Korea. And in other words, that is where this sort of change would take place. There's absolutely no way on earth that the UK government is going to stand out of line. I wish they would, but it's not going to happen. Yeah,
the pressures from Europe and us to kind of follow the line because the IMF look at how our behaviour goes. The spending review last week, Jonathan, and now Vince saying this about trying to cap top earners. Every time we talk about this in the programme, Jonathan, there's a chap always that emails me and goes, "Hang on, the bankers need to make money and we need to pay them because they're good." Is there still an argument there about bankers?
Well, I suspect he's a banker who sends that email in. The reality is that anyone who knows anything at all about economics knows that over the long term, listen to me, over the long term, banks have never made a penny of profit. They have always been bailed out by not the government, although they're the people who sign the checks, the taxpayers. I'm amazed that people can't see what's obvious in front of their noses. We've just given the banks £850 billion, and who's paying for it? We are in higher taxes, and as you saw last week, probably 500,000 job losses in the public sector. That's the reality of banking. We need to sort out banking. If we can do that, then we'll sort out the economy. Of that, I can absolutely guarantee you.